Hi there, my name's Vince from mymatevince.com, and in this video today I'm going to show you my recreation of the Nintendo Switch. So here we have the original Nintendo Switch here and the Nintendo Switch Lite. Personally, I love the Lite. Downside is that there's no rumble and you can't dock it either. So I've been thinking, is there a way that we could redesign the Nintendo Switch? And could it possibly be made better? So I've been looking to yesteryear, looking at the bigger controllers, in particular this Atari Jaguar controller. Now look at this, what's coming underneath it? My version of a Nintendo Switch Atari Jaguar controller. You ready for it? Ta-da! Here we go. What do you think? Look at it. A perfectly working, functional, portable Nintendo Switch. Now remember, this is just a prototype. So if Nintendo were to do something like this, it would be obviously much better because they haven't got a budget of a few £100. They would have millions and millions and a team of highly experienced people to do it. But I've been messing around with this now for the past few days and it works nicely. So as you can see, what I've done here is I've got a third-party Pro Controller. This isn't an original Nintendo one, and I've made the screen in it. And what I've done is I've put the Nintendo Switch, built the Nintendo Switch into here. Unfortunately, there's a huge power bank on the back of it to give it power, because remember, I'm not Nintendo, so I'm having to use the board from in here and I'm having to dock it. Now this isn't just like a Nintendo Switch Pro Controller Nintendo Switch. This also does something different as well. This will connect up to your TV wirelessly, so you don't need a dock. All you need is this, and I'll show you it working later on in the video on the TV, and it will just connect up using wireless HDMI. So obviously it's a mesh, you don't have to comment on that. Just think of it more about the prototype. So imagine now if Nintendo were to do something like this, then they could make it run all from the one internal battery, because I'm having to power the screen separately and also the dock separately as well. But where this also differs is, look, there's a little microphone up here as well. So this kind of has the things that the Nintendo Switch doesn't have: wireless docking and also a microphone. So what do you think of that? And I know it looks big, and it is big, but most of that is the power bank at the back. Look, if you took off the power bank at the back and if you were to solder, see, I can't solder the cables in because I have to swap it from here to here when I go to wireless HDMI. But if you were to just hide all those cables in here by doing direct soldering, which would be possible, it's just that I wanted to have the wireless HDMI on this as well, then it would be working fine. And you can still see I still have my access to there, to the game cards and stuff. I've still got my fan pumping it out at the side here. I had to do an external speaker with the little headphone jack here, and you might recognise this down here. This is an Xbox 360 little chat pad, so you can put up the volume by using this at the bottom here. This would be capable of 1080p if the screen, because it's docked, so this is running at 1080p. The problem is I'm using a car reversing screen, so the resolution on this is, I can't even remember, I don't even think it's 480p. I think it might be 240p or something, so the resolution's awful. But it's just an idea behind it. Now if you did want to zoom in on anything, remember you can use the zoom feature on the Nintendo Switch, so you can just tap that twice and you can now see that we can zoom in there and we can actually lock it in at that position there. So if you need to read something small on Zelda or something, then it is possible. So basically we have the Switch here, currently minus the fan and the heatsink at this moment in time, but we've got the battery powering the Switch. Now we've got a power bank here which is powering the little dock. Out of the dock we've got HDMI going out into this here. This is a digital to analog converter, so HDMI in to RCA composite or AV out, and you can see there on the yellow connector it goes straight into here. I've still got to work out something for the audio, either coming from the RCA connections here, or I might just do it via the headphone jack on the actual Switch itself. And then the other port on the power bank comes out and it goes into straight into here. But this is designed as a car reversing camera, little screen, so it's designed to work from 9 to 30 something volts. Obviously coming out of here is only 5 volts, so I've had to just go into the actual circuit itself. So I've had to go like further into the circuit to get it to work off 5 volts itself. So now I have to try to get all of that packaged into something small. So let me show you a little bit of gameplay on it. Now to change the game, just like normal, you get this, and watch this. If I put a bit of force, can you see? It will actually fly out of there. So that's quite a nice little action as well. Pop that in there, and now you can see Zelda. Right, okay, so that's that. Now let me show you the main thing, which is connecting to the TV wirelessly. So here we are behind the TV, and just for the purpose of the video, I've removed everything from it. So there's nothing plugged into this TV apart from the wireless HDMI receiver. So now, if we come to here, what I have to do is take out the headphone jack, because we want the sound coming through the TV. I've got to move the dock from the screen to the actual wireless HDMI sender, and now I've got to kill power to the screen and plug in the wireless HDMI sender like that. And now if we turn the switch off and then back on again, we should now see in about 30 seconds or so it will come up on the TV. Right, so it's just made a little thing there, and there you go, it made a little vibrate. And now you can see it's working up on the TV. So now let's get the camera set up and I'll show you how well it works in docked mode. Right, let's do a little bit of Mario Kart. So the difference here is that the controller is the brains, and then this is doing all the work, and the TV is just picking up the signal from here. And it's 1080p, and as well as that, because I've used a good wireless HDMI sender, there's no noticeable lag. There's supposed to be a couple of milliseconds, which you're never going to notice. Now imagine in the future if TVs had wireless HDMI built in, you could just bring this anywhere you wanted and it would connect up to the TV of your choice without having to bring a dock or a portable dock, because everything's built into the controller itself. Oh, motion controls are on. You can see that motion controls also work. Yeah. Let's turn those off. There we go, so you can see it is possible to get first place even when you're using this little prototype here. So that is it. What do you think of my homemade contraption here? Do you think that if Nintendo were to bring this out and it was the size of a Pro Controller with an extra inch or so at the bottom here with a screen built into it, would you prefer to use this in portable play? And then would you like to have the idea of the wireless docking? Or is it not an issue? Is it a non-issue? Is it fine just have the dock working the way it's working now? So let me know what you think of this little contraption here. If you liked it, please give the video a thumbs up. If you've got any ideas or what you'd like to see on future generations of Nintendo Switch, then add that down to the comments below. So if you haven't subscribed already, think about it, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye now.